Hello folks, in this video I'm going to cover how to get Weblogic server added to your Eclipse environment so you can do your programming against Weblogic server. Again, we are slowly moving towards writing an application that will basically use JMS and will use Weblogic server. So we have covered so far installation of the Weblogic server, the application software, and getting the administration console to work. Then we have configured JMS servers, queue, topics, etc. And now we are basically looking at what it takes to add Oracle WebLogic server to an Eclipse environment. If you have worked with Eclipse before, and then it's a very easy, obvious thing to do. But for some of the folks new to Eclipse, there is a little bit of quirkiness to getting WebLogic installed. So just want to cover that. All right, so I'll go ahead and start Eclipse, and I have my own workspace for this particular YouTube site where we are going to in the future develop applications. So that's set up here. Go ahead and click OK. So while this loads, if you are new to Eclipse, or if you have not used Eclipse before, the easiest way to basically download and install Eclipse is Google Eclipse download. Uh, pick the latest one. You bring the file down and go ahead and unzip it. And once the directory explodes, find the eclipse.exe and you can run it. If you're on a Mac, you pretty much do the file download, and then when you run it in your applications, you will get a eclipse.app, so that you launch. Okay, so it is pretty straightforward. Once you launch Eclipse, uh, you are pretty much you get that first screen where you have to specify a workspace. My recommendation is you can put your own workspace the way you'd like. You can have multiple workspaces. So what I typically do is when I'm working on different kinds of projects, I will usually set up different workspaces, so I have my things isolated from each other, and that way I log on to the right workspace. I have the relevant projects in there and I can work on them. Okay, so to add servers, you go ahead and once you're in, depending on where you land up in the display, essentially find the servers tab, and you might have Tomcat here if you're already working with Tomcat. If not, it will be blank, like in my case. So I'll go ahead and click this, and since I was looking at this thing earlier, I can see a lot of WebLogic. Okay, what will most likely happen is, if you have never worked with WebLogic on this machine, when you will click WebLogic, you will get a different name here, right? You will get something that says Oracle WebLogic tools configuration or something. You will get only a single entry, which is not what you are seeing here. Okay, you will get a single entry here that will say Oracle WebLogic tools or something like that, and it will be yellow in color. You click that, and if you're connected to the internet, there'll be a lengthy install. As your Maven installs, in the bottom right here, you will see files being downloaded, and you'll have a screen here as well, which will go ahead and download all kinds of Oracle WebLogic files, and it will run for a while. I think it will restart your Eclipse one or two times, and eventually you will land up with all this WebLogic information here. Okay, so in our case, I picked the latest and greatest, the last one, and then it comes up. Uh, so Oracle, so server runtime. Okay, so let me do this thing. If I can clear this guy out, okay, let me click this. All right, so when you come here for the first time after your install works and you are able to get to the screen with all this information, you pick the last one, click on next, and it will ask for the Weblogic home. So in our previous tutorials, we had established an Oracle home and there was this WLS directory inside there. So we basically need to point Eclipse to that Weblogic home. So if I open this guy up, okay, so this is my WLS directory, and inside here there is a WLS server. So we basically need to point Eclipse to this directory. So let me go here. I will click this guy, and again, since I have done this in the past, it is remembering some of the places. So I come to Oracle WLS 2210 WLS server, okay, and it accepts it. It automatically finds the JDK, so it takes that. We'll go with it. Click next, and I'm saying it's a local server and domain directory. Okay, so we have that base domain which was our default domain directory, where with default domain which we set up, it basically needs to find that folder, and which is under our user projects. So if I click here and I go to known domains, because I'm using that same server, it can find this automatically, and I will select the base domain. It is going to validate and make sure that everything is still fine and valid. It'll take a few seconds, so we'll give it that time. And that pretty much sets it up. I'm going to take the things as is, and I will hit the finish. And then let me try to start the server and see what happens. There's some activity you can see in the bottom right here. It's 73%, 74%. It's starting up. And its state is running. So this is pretty much what you normally get in that command window, right, when you launch it. Okay, so it started. Now to make sure that it is working fine, we can either access it from here or we can access it from a regular browser window. We'll do both. So if I go here, localhost 7001 console, I get my standard administration console login. Give the password we had provided during installation, and we can log in. I can also go to a browser here just to show that it works. Go to localhost 7001 console. And we are here. If you go and click on our JMS server, this is the server we had set up. Okay, so at this time, Eclipse is plugged in with our Weblogic installation, and now we can look at developing code that will use JMS services and do messaging. Hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, please feel free to add it in the comment section, and I will try to respond to them. If you like the video or you find it useful, if you can hit the like button, that way I know that people are using the video and it's of value. Thank you, and I will catch up in the next Java programming lesson. Thanks.